Okay, we are back. My next guest, Gery, a well-known freelance journalist and entrepreneur, contributor to, listen to this, WDTN, my heart's right there, WDN TV2 programming, Living Dayton, owner of GLD Enterprises Communications. Please welcome Gery, everybody. Hey, Hey, Gery, how you doing, buddy? Bonjour. A little French in there. Now, I gotta say, I read your bio.
I'm sorry.
I am too. You're about the laziest. Let me tell you how lazy this guy is. You guys ready? Let me tell you how lazy he is.
Yeah.
Good for nothing, lazy bum.
I just sit around.
Who used to do this on TV?
You used to do that?
Oh, no, I forget who was.
You could read that for the whole hour, I think.
That would take up the whole hour.
Well,
Let's not do that.
this is how lazy this guy is. Freelance writer since 1987, nominee for the 2010 Pulitzer Prize. Hey, nominee for the 2010 Open Media Award. Director, co-founder of Western Ohio Writers Association. Executive director of the book Flights in Fiction. Organizer, Cincinnati Dayton Micro Business Association. Little French there. Self-syndicated columnist since 2008, Dear in Headlines. Editor and publisher of the Jamestown Comment.com, on-air business expert, segment contributor, writer, WDTN, Living Dayton Programming. That's how lazy this guy is, everybody.
That's
Kind
a
of
nice night. See,
guy are
It
you?
doesn't even mention your musical
it doesn't. Don't talk about the music. That's
But
a
now
whole
listen.
nother.
How do you tie? This program keeps me busy. Robin and I on the phone constantly. or
Well,
on
I
the
let
internet.
somebody else run Living Dayton.
Oh,
Right, Nathan?
my God. I mean, you've done it all, mister.
I do a lot of things. Yeah, it's.
You do a lot of things, but let me ask you, do you have a favorite, or you like everything you
well,
do? You have a favorite?
You know, if I had to pick my favorite, is usually the writing.
The writing.
Because it's kind of, it sounds like it's a
Creativity.
lot of different things, but it's
Right.
really all the stuff that I do is all based in communication work.
Mm-hmm.
So everything requires you to be a good communicator, whether I'm up on stage or if I'm emceeing something or I'm writing a PR piece or a freelance journalism piece. You have to do all that stuff, and you well know that
Yes.
that's 90% of what we do, even in a program like this, is get it on paper so we can present it to the people.
Okay. Well, before we go any further, you brought some pictures.
Oh yeah, there's some
So,
pictures. Oh, there's our logo.
We're going to...
It's huge. Look at that.
Deer in...
Deer
what's
in
that say?
Headlines.
Deer
That's
in
the
Headlines.
column logo. It's,
Oh, I said it
cut
was
off a
too
little.
little. I
That's
wanted
okay.
to make it too big, and
Now
they made
it's
it
way too
bigger.
big. That's okay.
Yeah, I want
It should be big.
You're a
Should
big
take
guy.
up the whole
Take
thing
up the
back
whole
here.
set. You
Yeah.
got that. And that first picture now?
And
What
then
are we
we've got-
seeing here?
Then we've got the other stuff here.
Okay,
which
bring up
I'm
the-
not.
there we
Oh,
go.
that's Living Dayton.
Okay.
Oh, there's the Deer in Headlines logo. It's right up there.
And
with
make that full screen there,
That's-
Ron, if you
that
would.
looks pretty good. And that's Sean Kreisman, who just left our show. And he was a great host. We had a lot of fun with
I
Sean.
heard that
Yeah,
you had told me you went
moved
to
out
Tampa.
of Dayton, went back to Florida, and there he is. Now we're all full screen.
Yeah.
And I think on that one we were talking about language skills, and
Mm-hmm.
that's something we just mentioned here a minute ago.
Yeah, I love language. Love it.
We typically go, the things that I contribute to Living Dayton are business and consumer segments. I also do a Deer in Headlines segment about once a month, and then I put other people on the show as a contributor for them. So
Okay.
I work as a publicist or a marketing specialist for them.
And the next one?
Same thing.
That's you?
That's me. That's the GLD Enterprises logo. You mentioned that a minute ago. We're a communications business.
I think I saw that, and you said, I enjoy being on Living Dayton, but I want to be on a big show, so I'm waiting for a call from the Rob.
Waiting a call from Rob Dennis. I finally made it. I finally
And
got
you're
on the
here.
show. Yes.
What else we got there?
And there's Katie Kenny. Katie is our current host right now. We're looking for someone to take Sean's place, and she's on there with Sally Taylor. Hey, you should apply. You should apply.
You
Rob
think?
should apply. Yeah, you should definitely do that.
Be like being at home, I'll tell you. I spent
Katie's great
many
too,
years
and
there.
it's really interesting how much time Living Dayton actually, for not being an employee of the show, that it takes up in my world. But it's
does.
very valuable, and I love what it does for the community.
People have no concept what it takes to produce a show.
And no, they don't. They
Not
really
one
don't. And my
concept.
tiny little piece of it takes hours.
Is there another picture?
I don't know. Oh, there's our book. That's when the book came in. I have the big box in front of me, and I wanted to show it off in my office, so I'm holding them all up. This is Flights of Fiction. It was done by the Western Ohio Writers Association. I was executive editor, and then we had a whole editorial committee that put it together. It's an anthology of stories from Dayton, and the pinnacle story is about the Air Force Museum. and it's a night at the museum kind of story. So it's like you can find it at any Amazon, those kinds of things.
Have you heard when the 4th unit will be done?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't. Maybe there'll be a sequel.
Because I just lived up the hill from right there, and I've been watching them build it.
Yeah, it's incredible. I think that's all the pictures.
You have you've done a lot of writing, Gery.
Yes.
And when you write something, every now and then, was your favorite story? Do you have the favorite?
You know,
thing
strangely enough, the favorite things I was writing, Deer in Headlines has been around about 7 years, and my favorite things were while I was taking care of my mother before she passed away. She had Alzheimer's, and we had 24-hour care, and I got a lot of personal experience out of that we used in Deer in Headlines, so I was hoping that other people would also benefit from that as well.
Help, that's right. I was getting ready to say it would help other people by your experience.
It was our experiences, and it was new to us. We'd never had a family member that had anything like that.
And many other families don't, so they could learn from you.
Right, and it was hard, but it also was a little bit of therapy. And when I was asked, as things went along, not long before she passed away, I wrote her obituary, which turned out to be a full story about her life. And very grateful for the newspapers that I worked with who published the entire thing, so that people would know a little bit more about her than just the 3 lines that you normally get.
How do you have time, though? I mean,
to do all of that?
Everything you do, so this is time consuming. How do you, to write, to be an executive producer?
Well, I have a I have a mortgage, and I work. People talk about self-employed. There is no such thing as self-employed.
Yeah.
You can't be self-employed. Someone has to pay you. So I traded one boss for 100.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it works. But it's because it's all related. Some things overlap. Some things are done together. I've kind of turned time management into an art form, and it doesn't always work. Believe me, it falls apart. And I don't sleep a lot, so that.
Because you know that something.
We're on the air.
When you're trying to put a segment on Living Dayton.
Yes.
That's live. And it's got
That's
to be
live.
there.
We can only do it the one time, and I do a
got
lot
to
of
be
coaching with the people before they come on if they're going to do something like this. Of course, our format's a little bit different, and we only have 3 minutes. And of course, they want to tell everything. That list you just did about me at the beginning would have taken up our whole segment.
Yeah.
So we have to kind of narrow them, get them to talk about what you want them to say, and get them to move on. But it works out very well. We have a great team over there, and they've been very good to me and my clients, and I'm very appreciative.
Oh, that's super. Did you, you're part of the booking for Tim Harrison's been on the show many times. He's a friend of the show.
No, I haven't. I don't know him, no.
He's a great guy, great guy. He's getting ready to come back on the show, too.
I was watching your show before. I was on with the music group when I had the Brothers and Company here, just to kind of get a feel for it. It's kind of it's a format that I've been accustomed to my whole life, but never had an opportunity to be a part of this. So I really appreciate it.
Here it is.
It's a lot of fun.
Bill mentioned that he's thanked me for doing this type of show in Dayton.
Yeah.
And we're very proud. The crew and I are very proud to say we're the longest running late night talk show format in the history of Dayton TV.
I believe that.
No one has ever done what we're doing.
It's
going
really
on
fun.
6 years.
You should be very proud.
And we insist on the show, the entire crew, when we get together, we have to have only the most talented and gracious and knowledgeable people on the show, or they don't get to be on the show.
Wow, thank you.
How's that?
That's really good. Well, you know that I'm picky about whose shows I do, and every show I've been on that's national has been canceled.
Is that right?
Yeah, everyone except America's Got Talent is still going, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
I was on the first season of America's Got
And this will
Talent.
be the other. No, keep
and
going.
this will be it now. It'll be done
okay.
after this. So.
Oh no! Of course, to give us all a little bit of rest.
A little bit of rest.
Yeah.
Take a break for a little while.
We're so glad that you're here.
Thank you for having me.
And your buddy's coming out in a few
yeah,
minutes.
my friend Nathan's coming up to talk about a little bit
Did
about
you get
WordPress.
everything in you wanted to get in?
I
Gery?
think so. Yeah, sure. We can always come back and do some more.
We were talking about language, and I taught. Now, see how his memory goes. He's going to say hello in Chinese, and I'll give you a cue. Don't say it
I'm
yet.
not going to remember this.
No, yes, you will, because I did sign
My
language.
apologies to
Yes, he'll say
Chinese
hello in Chinese. Now watch him.
I can't even say hello in redneck.
Now wait a minute. Watch.
Ni hao.
See, that's how you say hello in Chinese. Ni hao, ni hao, and goodbye is.
Tai Chin.
See, he's a good student, isn't he? I try to teach where people will remember. You go to a Chinese restaurant, you say hello in their language, goodbye. And if you remember say, which is thank you, you'll get a couple free egg rolls.
Well, you know, most of the people I hang around with either speak redneck or Klingon.
Oh,
so you know you have to be aware of that. But I did go to that new drive-in. Have you seen it?
No.
It's a redneck drive-in. All the cars are up on blocks.
Hey, we need a drummer. Great to have you.
Thank you very much.